We are here, Eugene.
We are here. We're going to listen to some beautiful music for about 30 seconds.
Yes. Yes. So where are we, hon?
We are at our home in Florida, Boca Raton, getting away from the cold in New York. It is 9 o'clock as we speak, so we will begin our Monday evening fireside chat. We love to connect with each and every one of you every Monday evening, unless we're 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, that is, no matter where we are in the world and where you are in the world. And we do this in the hopes of helping people move along, not only in business, but in life. And we're very, very fortunate tonight to have two of the people that we work with on more of a spiritual level. And some people say there are accidents in life. We like to think about synchronicity. And it just so happens that we had met Alberto and Giulia in Thailand, in Phuket. We have villas there, and ironically, out of all the villas in Phuket, we happen to wind up right next to each other, which is, again, we don't believe coincidence. But they're going to speak a little bit about some of the tools and some of the ideas that they have that have brought them not only success in monetary terms, but in life and in relationships. And they certainly have helped us. And some of these principles can apply throughout life. And they actually applied some of these principles in New Skin. And they were able to break some records because they became executives within 9 days.
Yeah.
So heed the advice. And they have really become kind of a term I learned from Alberto, a threshold, kind of a window to see through that maybe there is a better way when we begin to entertain some of these ideas. So hopefully this will help some of us, all of us, to raise a level of humanity. Now, last week we had the opportunity to be invited to be guest speakers on Facebook Live, and we had spoken of a dear friend, for those of you who tuned in, Betty Sung. I became a little bit emotional, and it's just because of the feelings that I had. But Giulia, being on a different level of consciousness, tuned into that and brought things to my attention that I didn't even realize. So I know Giulia has some credible information to share with you. Thanks for correcting me.
Right.
I didn't say anything.
You want to do a little bit of an introduction, some opening comments as well before we introduce Giulia?
Of course. And you guys are so lucky.
Wow.
Have Alberto and Giulia here to share. And it's such a blessing. We've been with them for the last 2 weeks, and you have no idea, for the last 10 years, knowing them, they totally transform our life, our heart. We learn so much from them because through their teaching, we know how to open our heart widely and feel love and joy. And I think the best part is truly know we are all one being. And and Eugene and I are so blessed, we actually invited a lot of our leaders from Europe, from Taiwan, from Texas, from Florida. We went all the way to Sardinia to learn from them different ways of joy. And ultimately, we are able to connect with that source easily and effortlessly at any point. So that means we are truly a divine. When we connect that source, we have wisdom. We are inspired at all times. And when you learn that, you connect with people to their heart. And that's what New Skin is all about. It's about connection. So, we are just so honored for them to be here to share their wisdom. And as Eugene said, because they were so inspired by our talk on OTG, especially with Eugene. So Giulia mentioned to us she really wants to express what she has really transformed from that talk and how she can help every one of us to live in more harmony. And I'm so respectful for them because you have no idea. This afternoon, okay, they speak, it's not her main language, but this afternoon, just in 1 hour, she wrote such a great article in English. This will take you 10 years to learn. So she's going to express in the next 10, 15 minutes the essence of her her teaching, her philosophy. You guys, you need to take notes, okay? I'm gonna bow down for my masters here. Really, really treasure the teaching. And I just can't believe the article she just wrote in 10 minutes in English. So please, Giulia, okay, teach us.
Thank you very much, Gwen and Eugene. We are honored to be here and to share with you our point of view from our level of consciousness, obviously.
Okay.
So, can a man and a leader be moved emotionally in public? I ask you, because I ask myself.
Mm-hmm.
And how can this behavior affect success in his job?
Mm-hmm.
And what impact can this behavior have on people and society? Each of you will have your own answers to these questions. And your answers are based on the programs you have in your subconscious mind and your beliefs. What are the programs and beliefs? Programs are repeated beliefs and actions. Beliefs are ideas in which we trust, regardless of their objectivity and corresponding emotions. It is enough for a person to believe in something or an idea, and it becomes true for oneself. Returning to the question I asked before, it is important to realize that our answers are not necessarily the truth, with capital T, but only our truth,
Right.
our personal truth. Answers from other people can allow us to access a larger truth, useful for living our life with more love and joy. So, what meaning can we give to the fact that man and the leader is moved emotionally in public? Today, we can say that this behavior is liberating for all of us. Why? Because a man, especially an adult like Eugene, was able to go beyond the limiting beliefs of family and society and allow himself to express in public his love and regret for the loss of a mentor and dear friend like Betty's son. For this reason, he becomes a model of a new man, a complete man, in which the heart and the mind are united. In practice, the message that emerges from this behavior is that, like women, men too can express their feelings rather than repress them, as they have been taught in the past. In addition, the relationship with this partner improves because recognizing and accepting his feelings allows greater openness in the relationship between man and woman. Men and women can feel and express their feelings without one feeling superior or inferior. Therefore, indirectly, this behavior is a message of harmony, equality between men and women from a point of view of our humanity. And what impact can this behavior have on one's occupations? From my point of view, it also frees others from the need to be perfect, to always do the thing though, as not to be judged and criticized. In other words, we can succeed in work when we are authentic, when we allow ourselves to express with love and respect and gratitude for those who have helped us. Having leaders like Gwen and Eugene, who are not only very good in their business, but also loving, generous, capable of expressing gratitude, leads all the people to a higher level of consciousness towards a new model of humanity. To answer the third question on the impact of such behavior on individuals and on society, we can say that they are an example to follow. Mm-hmm. So, this was possible because they modified their programs acquired in childhood. They embraced new beliefs that gave them the opportunity to live their life with much more freedom and well-being, not only materially, but psychologically and spiritually. Still speaking about beliefs, how would it be if you accepted the idea that not only we can rejuvenate it, but that we can change our physiology and live healthier, longer, and with more joy? Think about this, because when many of us open up to such possibilities, there is a great benefit for individuals and also for all humanity. As a humanity, we need to overcome the old beliefs about the importance of the ego as a sense of separation, struggle for power, competition, and stress, to access a vision of us as a sense of collaboration, sharing, and harmony. And we all know that if we want to be successful, harmonious collaboration and sharing is essential. In this way, we can change the planetary state of consciousness and make a quantum leap from suffering toward joy, love, and peace. Only in this way we can honor both our humanity and divinity.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Giulia.
Yes. So, Giulia, would you like to? Yes, because
okay.
For those of you, there's so much wisdom in what Giulia has just shared. And everything is in writing, and after this session we're going to upload to our MPUS as a file so that you can go back. And Giulia's background, would you just share your background, because people have no idea that your scientific background and a spiritual background is such a great a marriage between knowledge of both.
Yes, of science and spirituality, because I am a psychologist and psychotherapist, but also I follow quantum physics and spirituality for many, many years. So I put together a new vision, a new model of humanity, because I work on myself, I have my spiritual search, and now I can share with people my experience and my knowledge.
All right, and then she has written so many books, so you guys can actually go to their Facebook page to learn more. But in the meantime, about what you just shared, it is so important for people to understand. And then Eugene, truly, mind and heart united, yes, and being so open, and because that, men and women, we can work closely together, we complement each other, and we have seen how great that Giulia and Alberto working together complement each other, and it's just so powerful, exactly what Giulia has said. So if everybody embrace this idea, wow, we can really, really
change
benefit the whole humanity. So what would you
well, I just want to add, for the benefit of the people who have not had the opportunity or the pleasure of meeting Alberto and Giulia, that not only have they authored books, many books, but they're international speakers, okay, well known not only in Italy and the US, but around the globe. So if anyone is interested in more information through Joy Touch and Joy Field, which are some of the programs that Giulia and Alberto have put together, certainly, and you can reach out to us. I think the website for you is joytouch.com.
.org.
or .org, and you can certainly Google Alberto Giacomini if you can spell that, but we'll spell it for you, or Giulia Jordan.
Right.
So
.com, yes.
.com, thank you.
Yes, or the page JoyWay.
Or JoyWay.com?
Page, no, it's a page in Facebook.
It's a page, okay. And of course, this article that Giulia has just written, we'll make that available to each and every one of you on NPUS for those who are interested in reading it and also elevating your consciousness.
Right.
So having said that, I know Alberto and you are very similar in many, many ways.
Right.
Not to get specific, but I know you'd like to introduce Alberto, and I know he has some things to share as well.
Right. So I'm just so honored to introduce my master, Alberto. You guys have no idea. Sometimes it brought me to tears. Totally taught me the true, what it means by true connection, not just within ourselves, but within to the source and with each other, because we are truly oneness, one being. And Alberto is also, he just wrote it this afternoon, maybe just in such a short time, but it's a condensed version of his wisdom in regards to the topic we are sharing and how men and women working together in harmony. So please share, Alberto.
Okay, thank you, Gwen. Now, some word about women's and men's new roles, relationship and reciprocal influences. When men protect the feminine, it blossoms, nourishes, and welcomes. When women welcome the masculine, it heals, guides, and protects. So there is a reciprocal influence between the protection of the masculine over the feminine and the welcoming of the feminine over the masculine. When men and women fully express their roles, strength and passion bloom. When women and men safely embrace each other in a dance, love and life will also bloom. When women and men recognize each other's values, uniqueness, and power, something sacred happens that helps to heal all of humanity. As a conclusion, women and men frequently have this experience throughout the culture of Nu Skin.
Wow.
What a treat.
Thank you.
To not only know and learn from Giulia and Alberto, but to have them come to our home and enjoy life. And again, to see different ways of approaching relationships in business and in our personal lives through that threshold, which has become now more and more not only nationally but internationally recognized. And we hope that this in some way has helped each and every one of us who are tuning in tonight in a spiritual way and from a business perspective and a personal perspective as well. And remember, we do this every Monday evening. This was a special treat because more often than not, it's about tools and the application of principles for only business. But this, as you can see, can cross those barriers and be applied to relationships with children, with men, with women, and again, all of humanity. So,
right. Well, maybe allow me to maybe have some questions and we'll do a little bit interaction.
That'd be great.
Yeah, Alberto, remember, actually what we have seen, I'm going to sit there. They can just hear my voice. Okay.
Okay.
Question.
No, come on camera.
No. Oh. It's okay. That way I can see you. In the past, you mentioned in the past centuries and centuries. What was the role between men and women, and what's the transition now? What is that you see?
Women were in a corner of the house, in the kitchen. They were disrespected, they were blamed, they were raped, and they received violences, and they couldn't do anything to change things. Men were dominating, they were powerful, they were the only being important in this life. But now, since some years, things have changed, hopefully. And now there is a transition period in the history of the humanity, because women has to become bigger, more important, more listened to, more decisional, more everything, because they have to compensate those centuries of living bad lives, discontent, suffering, and so on. Now, as accessing to the field of joy, they are the leaders, because they can give life, they can give joyful feelings, they can be the new guides of the humanity. This is not the final stage, because after having grown their importance, after a while, they have to balance their importance with the importance of the man. But this period in which they have more visibility, more everything, they need, I repeat, to compensate past suffering. So then, have you noticed that Giulia, as a woman, has had much more space, importance in this occasion? And Alberto, as a man, has had a very small space. This is exactly what I was speaking about, a compensation. And I'm glad to be in this little space that once was the space of women, sorry. Okay? So I am grateful, because now it's a period of my life in which I learned so much from Giulia. Giulia is the guide in our couple. She is the researcher. She discovered things that give me so many input how to better my life. And I'm so glad. I don't feel humiliated or disregarded, because I know this is the right energy in this period of humanity. So thank you, Giulia.
Wow, this is so great. And this really, exactly what you were saying, really in harmony with our Chinese, the yin and yang, working together in balance. When that's in balance, what will happen to the whole humanity, right? And then that's why you were touched by Eugene being so open, because when he is open heart means he embraced women as equality. And that's become a movement, right? Towards the total harmony and peace and love of the whole humanity. And then I also, when they share their wisdom today, I'm also want to share this is exactly what's happening with New Skin right now. If you pay attention, in the beginning, Eugene, 30 years ago when we joined,
men were the leaders.
Men were the dominant force. A lot of business entrepreneurs, they were actually the superior leaders. Women were more the followers. But now, within the last few years, a lot of leaders, they are women leaders. They start.
Like
But-
Betty's son.
Yeah, Betty's son starts, and then our leaders like Shirley or Tiffany and many other very successful female leaders, they start. But their husband, like David, now join, complement with Shirley, and many, many other examples like that. So when they were talking about that, that's exactly what's happening with New Skin. So imagine when women's influence and men's influence working together in such a harmony, what will happen to New Skin's future, right? So this not only help our business, but actually improve the relationship between men and women, like me and Eugene and Alberto and Giulia and husband and wife. When we improve one relationship, all our personal relationships are improved because we all now have a bigger heart.
Yes.
And then we embrace, not just right here, everyone that we encounter, because everyone's equal.
Yes.
Correct? So touching.
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, Julie, did you have any closing comments? Anything you'd like to add or share?
We share to sharing with people our vision about life. It's time for us to leave the field of suffering and go into the field of joy. And this is our goal. And you also do the same by a different point of view,
Right,
but it's the same goal for
Right.
all us.
right.
I fully agree.
Smart man.
Okay. Really, to closing, there's one really a great hint. For New Skin, hopefully most of you know the answer. What is the logo, that little fountain mean? It means, Eugene, what does that mean? The fountain.
The Fountain of Youth.
Fountain of youth, right? We all searching for fountain of youth. But do you know the true secret of youth? Where does that reside? They have the secret. So maybe we'll share with you next time for you to learn the true secret of youth, that you don't age anymore, and eternity, because it's all from within. So they're gonna unlock the key to the true fountain of youth. All right? And maybe if you guys behave and lucky enough, we'll invite them back before they go back to Sardinia. So thank you so much. And Eugene, would you like to make some?
Well, no,
Thanks
just
to
thanks
you.
for joining us. Thank you, Giulia and Alberto, again.
to
And
you.
again, every Monday evening, we will be reaching out to our organization, and whether we're in the air or wherever we are. So tune in, and hopefully some of the tips and some of the ideas and concepts we can share with you that people have shared with us. We were fortunate enough to have leaders that shared with us. We want to convey and pay that forward. So delighted you were able to join us tonight. God bless each and every one of you, and hopefully we'll see you, if not before next Monday evening at our fireside chat. Where will we be? In New York?
Utah.
You will be in Utah.
Monday night, we're going to be in Utah. We travel.
So we'll be speaking to you from Utah.
Yes. Ciao.
Have a great
And
night.
thanks again, Alberto and
Thanks for joining
Giulia.
To you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao. Hey, we're going to go out and have some fun now, right?